What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're gonna be doing another tier list in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. As it is the first of the month, you guys know we're gonna be doing a tier list of the point guards. So, before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We upload more MyTEAM content here than anywhere else. And again, if you guys just want to see, well, you guys want to watch, well, MyTEAM content, this is the best place for it. So, we're only going to be looking at primary point guards. I've accidentally put in a primary 2 guard here. I do apologize. I think these are only primary point guards. It's hard on MTDB. I can't use, because I can't get the pictures from 2KDB, and you cannot search primary only on MTDB. So this is what we have. This is what we have for our list. And one player I know for a fact is a 2 guard is Kevin Porter Jr. Let's put him at the end right here. Because again, just to be consistent, we're only going to go with primary positions. So first up is Alex Caruso. And I think at this stage of the game, I'm going to put Alex Caruso in C tier. I like this card. I do like Alex Caruso. I think he's got that nice wingspan. He's going to hit wide open shots. He's also got that half interceptor badge. I used to use him a lot too. When he first came out, he came out early in Season 3. I managed to get one of him quite early with quite a few gold badges. Quite a few extra golds and a diamond shoe with like 3 points. So I managed to get him for quite cheap for that. And he was in my squad for a while. I actually ended up selling him, I think, for a profit some stage right a little before Christmas when I was like offloading my collection. But honestly, Caruso was a decent card. He was very good for his time. Iverson, I'm gonna put Iverson in C as well. No, screw it. I'm gonna put B tier for Iverson. Iverson is not as bad as people say. Pink Diamond Iverson is the exact same as the Opal, by the way. They're the same card. Iverson is not as bad as people say, and I don't understand by that. Iverson is not very good, but I mean, Iverson can still cook. Like, if you're asking me to go out and score with a point guard, I mean, there are obviously guys that I much prefer to Iverson, but I think if you're trying to tell me he's not in the better half of this list, I think he'll be on the lower end of B tier, but I do think he is in the upper half of this list. I do really rate Allen Iverson. And I'm going to go same tier with Baron Davis. I don't know. Maybe Baron Davis will go A. But I am a big fan of Baron Davis. And he's got that Dame release. He's an absolutely spectacular defender. He has base dribble style, but he still kind of moves fast. His defense on the perimeter is really good. Interior is lacking quite a lot, which is obviously not great if you are playing any mode or reading clutch time. And if you're playing at a high level, that is. If you're playing low bracket SPMM, you're gonna walk the games even with him. Ben Simmons S. I'm putting 5 players in S tier. And I think if you have a list like this and Ben Simmons is not in S tier, you're crazy. Because you can still make that argument Ben Simmons is the best point guard in the game. Because you got to play him like he's an inside center. But if you've got an inside center, or sorry, if you've got a shooting center on your team, and you can put them in the corner, run any of the 4-out or the 4-0-9 freelance or 5-out freelance, use Simmons to set the screens, like, he can be so effective. Again, for me, someone like a Cade is better. Someone like honestly, I prefer Bunga, but Simmons is still really good. And if Simmons is wide open in the corner, you can actually kind of agree with him. I know he's the low 3-point rating, but if he's wide open in the corner, I'd still pull. I still pull just to keep the defense honest. Now we got Bobby Sura. Now Bob Sura, he's one of these tiers. He's definitely not going to S tier. I'm going to go A tier for Sura. The guy's 6'5". He's got quick dribble style or shifty, one or the other. He's got a really nice release in base 38. He's going to dunk on everybody. He's fast. He's got good dribble style. Like, he's definitely A. He's nowhere close. He's closer to B than he is S. But I think Sura definitely belongs here in A tier. I'm going to find, we're like 5 minutes in. We're going to find one player in each of the lower tiers. You are in D tier. You are, like, he's not terrible. I do want to stress that, like, Lou Will is not actually terrible in 2K. It's just he's not brilliant. Actually, no, screw it. Luel's going to go C. Because he can move and he can shoot. He's a little bit undersized, but like he's actually not bad. The player I'm going to put into D tier is Bing. Dave Bing's going to go into D tier. And then worthless tier. Obviously, the only reason this card is ever on tier list is to go into worthless. So Dave Bing's not, like, stats and badges wise, he's a little bit outdated. I think he's just a slightly worse Luel. I genuinely, I don't even think he's a bad shooter anymore. He's a good shooter base 4. He's just a slightly worse Luel. Whereas Gilbert Arenas is a garbage man. Base dribble style, terrible release, can't really move. Not good stats. Not bad stats, albeit. But like, nah, Gilbert Arenas he's useless. This Gilbert Arenas card, like, when are 2K gonna just get rid of base 11 for Gilbert? Doesn't even look anything remotely like his actual shot. Then we got Cade. Get into S tier, Cade Cunningham. Cade is a superb point guard. Like, I'm only putting 5 in S tier, and there is no question about it that Cade is going to be one of them. His movement is elite. His shooting's elite. Great behind the back. Really solid dunker. Good defender. Oh, don't make him guard ball, but a really good corner defender because of his length. 6'8", 7-foot wingspan. Yeah, Cade Cunningham, you're in S tier right here. Like, I know who two of my other S tier players are. My top 4 in S tier are no-brainers, but number 5 is going to be... I'm going to put in a really controversial one, and you guys probably know who I'm going to put in at number 5, but it all really depends on your playstyle. CP3. A? Chris Paul is really good. He's slightly better than Iverson. He's not much better than Iverson. He is slightly better than Iverson. I'm going to put him... Do I prefer him to Baron Davis? I think maybe. I saw a lot of really good players in 250k quals last week running this guy. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in A. A lot of people are going to have success with him, so he's going to go A. Kobe White. B. Kobe White's not terrible. He's like 6'5". He can move a little bit. His defense is okay. His shooting's alright. He's got shifty dribble style, or quick dribble style. Sorry, I think it is quick. Base 80. He's very much like Jamal Murray, just worse. And he's easy. Literally 10 wins at clutch time. Dame. I prefer Iverson to Dame. This Dame cannot play defense. No, I'm going to put Dame in C tier. Or in B tier. Dame can score. Dame can really, really score, lads. Like, his jumper is nice. His movement overall is nice. It's just he plays no defense. And his Dame is just better. Simply put, he's a way better defensive version of his Dame. And he is just better. This Dame is good. And for like his price of like 30, 40k, he's actually not bad. He is not bad at all for a NBA 75th card. He's really not. So then we have got Garland. I'm putting Garland closer. I'm going to put Garland in D tier. He's the best in D tier. Or C tier, sorry. He's better than Lou Will. He's definitely better than Lou Will. But Garland, for me, he's just 6'1". He's like Iverson, except he can't dunk. Iverson is 6 foot with like a 6'3" wingspan. Garland 6'1", 6'1" wingspan. I think they have the same release. Dribbling, I prefer Iverson. Iverson dunks the ball. So he's definitely, if you have Iverson lower end of B tier, you're going to have to put Garland in C tier. But Garland can still cook. De'Aaron, this De'Aaron's going to go D. 25 interior. Like, even, this wasn't as much of a problem back in the day. Even though Baron Davis' low interior, he's like a 70 block, which makes up for it a little bit. He doesn't. And also, now we've got 6'8" point guards, so it does matter. This De'Aaron, I'll go B tier. Oh, no, screw it. If I've got Sura in A, he's A. Sura might get moved down. But De'Aaron, again, he's better interior. His interior is still not great. He's a much better shooter than the Diamond De'Aaron. And his movement is very similar, but in a lot of the things that makes this one weak, this De'Aaron is okay in. No, I think I have De'Aaron 1 too low. C tier. There's not 3 tiers for these De'Aarons. DeJounte. I think in today's game, DeJounte is a D tier player. He's a worse Alex Caruso. For his time, DeJounte was really, really good. The problem with DeJounte is that he cannot create his own shot. He's not a very good shooter. And his defense, he still only comes with silver clamps. It was good for his time. Not really anymore. Really good for his time, DeJounte. Not right now. Darren Williams B. He's very, very comparable to Baron Davis. For me, he's like Baron Davis, except he gets half range, but he's not quite as good a dunker. Defensively, he's very similar. And even though his badges aren't quite as high, he does feel similar on that end of the floor. Offensively, in terms of movement-wise, they're quite similar as well. I put them at a similar level. I think Baron Davis probably slightly better than he will, but yeah, they're both going to B tier. Okay, I'm going to find some players in worthless tier. We're 10 minutes into this tier list, lads. So, like, I'm going to go and find a few more players to put into worthless. So, Russ, you're worthless. You are a garbage man. You make Dave Bing look good. This Russell Westbrook, my lord, lads, an absolute garbage man. Nate Robinson, I'm sorry, he's 5'9". He's actually not the worst player in the world. Problem is, the guy is 5'9". 5'9". Let me repeat. He is 5'9". He's not going to do anything. You're not going to be doing anything with this card. He is horrendous. Then we got Pat Bev. Keep accidentally right-clicking. We got Pat Bev. Pat Bev is a terror. You know what? D for defense. Pat Bev is better than these guys. Pat Bev is a terrible release, but you know what? He's good enough at defense that he's going to go D tier. Like, I hate Pat Bev. I think he sucks. But, I mean, Pat Bev is definitely better than these guys. As well as that, going into this tier. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, Quavo is not, in fact, on the list. I could have swore I put Quavo on the list. It appears I did not. It appears that there is currently no Quavo on the list. So with no Quavo means no other worthless tier player, more than likely. Some bad cards, but I don't think any of them belong with these three bombs. If Quavo was here, Quavo would be worthless. But Derrick Rose A. Like, if we're talking about 6'3" and under point guards, Derrick Rose, in my opinion, is still the best. He's still the one most people are going to have success with. And he is a player that you could debate in S. You really, really could. Then we have got Freddie VanVleet. Look, Fred versus Lou Will is a close one. Like, he had his time. His time is not now. Now, we all know Freddie had his time at the very start of the year where he was a really good card, but look, he's not that good anymore. Like, VanVleet is just a solid player. He's not going to be the greatest at anything. He's just a really, really solid player. Gary Payton, A. I don't care what anyone says. Gary Payton, to this day, is an A-tier player. Even though, surprisingly enough, I got rid of Payton for Baron Davis. It's just because I like Baron Davis more than anyone else does. I really like Baron Davis more than anyone else does. But I think Payton is just better. Like, Payton's got more defensive badges. He's taller. He's got a longer wingspan. He's got better dribble sigs. I think Payton just is the better card. As much as I do prefer Baron Davis, Payton's a better card. Now, this Payton, he is like in my debate. Payton Rose. And look, I'm going to move guys down tiers. I'm going to move guys down tiers because I think A tier is a little bit diluted with like the other Payton. So I'm going to move Iverson down, Kobe White down. I'm going to move Dame down. I'm going to move Lou Will down. I'm going to move Fred VanVleet down. I'm going to move De'Aaron Fox down. And I'm going to move De'Aaron down, Sura down, you down, and you down. I'm going to keep it like this. And I know you might be saying, oh, Payton's better than Dame. Like, I mean, defensively, yeah. For your playstyle, yeah. I think in general, this Dame is definitely better. This Dame is good, man. This Dame is good. But, Gilbert Arenas is going D tier. Honestly, I don't care about his stats. If the guy can't move or he can't shoot because of his release, he's D tier. Jalen Rose, S. Jalen Rose is S tier. Quick dribble style, really good release, can move, plays defense, is 6'8" at the 1. Dunks the ball. Really, really nice player. Gus Williams. Look, if I'm being completely honest, Gus is probably like C tier. High C or D. I'm gonna go C. Gus is fine. Like, he's not good. He's really not good, but he's not bad. Now Bonga. Now this is a guy who's in the debate. Bonga is in the debate for that last S tier spot. He's just big. He's a fundamental dribble style. He shoots the ball well from the corners. He'll defend. He won't guard ball, but he'll guard off the ball really well. And he's 6'8" as well, which is huge. Like, he is, the debate really is. Isaiah Thomas. At this stage of the year, Isaiah Thomas is a D tier player. He's by no means worthless. I'm refusing to put him in worthless tier. I'm refusing to do that. These three guys are so much worse than everybody else. But Isaiah Thomas is D tier. He's just outclassed. He was best point guard in the game for a while. He's outclassed. Ja. Whoever Darren is, Ja's got to go D tier as well. Like, the gap between D tier and like C tier isn't that big. But then, like, again, if I've got Darren in B tier, this, like, Opal Darren, yeah, Ja belongs in D. I mean, if you badge up Ja, he's pretty okay. Like, this Ja is going to go into B tier. So, again, I might move some of these guys up. I just think Dame is better than Ja. D-Rose is better than Ja. I think these guys are all debatable for that last S tier spot. And then another guy that is probably in that B tier range is Jamal. Jamal Murray is a really good player. He can handle, the guy moves, the guy shoots. He's like a better version of Kobe White. Very, very similar dribble sigs. His just all-around game is good, decent as well. His defense, I mean, it could be better, but he's 6'4" with a long enough wingspan, so it's okay. But yeah, he's a B tier player. Asen Kidd getting to D tier. D for tier, D for defense, D for tier. The guy doesn't play any players that don't play offense but are good defensively, like him, Pat Beverly. Those guys, yeah, they're always going a D for defense. Jeremy Lin. Now, right now, I gotta put Lin in B tier, don't I? Like, because Lin versus Ja is a debate. I think Ja is better. And like, Ja versus Darren is a debate. I think maybe Ja has to go up. I think maybe Ja Morant has to go up. Because, like, I do think Ja is better than Darren. Like, I'm looking at their stats right now. Ja's got like plus 130 total stats. He has more total badges as well. He's taller and has hop range, whereas Ja's gonna go A. Ja's gonna go up to A. And Dame, I think Dame's very comparable. Not Dame, sorry. Jeremy Lin's very comparable to Darren. I'm gonna put Jeremy Lin in A tier. He's better. He's like, Jeremy Lin's better than this Payton, worse than this Payton. B tier Jerry West. I mean, people thought he was him when he first came out. When Jerry West first came out, people were actually trying to convince me that this guy was the best point guard in the game. Like, I only used him once or twice, and I remember at the start of the year, even from, I think, was it the Ruby Jerry West? Yeah, he had a Ruby Jerry West that I used to use a lot in draft. He sucked. He couldn't hit open jumpers. This guy still has that same Jerry West release. And then if you're trying to shoot fades with Jerry West, like, he has the normal leaner, which is fine. But that's really it. Like, you're going to have to shoot fades with the guy. So, yeah, honestly, I'm going B tier for him. John Wall, B. I think you can put him in that same sentence as a Gary Payton. Because I know there are a lot of people that did prefer Wall to Payton at that stage. So, I think it's tough. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with him in B tier. So, like, I think you maybe argue him a C tier, but I think I'm going to stick to him in B tier. Kemba doesn't play enough offense or defense. Kemba's like a worse Darius Garland. Like, if I'm putting Darius Garland, Allen Iverson, and Dame in C tier, Kemba's a D tier player. He really is. Kirk Heinrich. Now, Kirk Heinrich plays enough defense, moves, and shoots. Like, Kirk Heinrich C tier. Like, you might be saying, oh, how is Kirk Heinrich C tier? Like, if you've actually used this guy, he has a good release. 80, like a good 3-ball, decent speed, fantastic defense and defensive animations. And the guy is 6'4" with a 6'6" wingspan. So he's got height, decent height. And he's got a good release. He can't dunk, but that's kind of his only flaw. I like the guy. I think maybe C tier. C or D. I'm going to go C. Lowry, 6 foot tall. Normal release timing. Not great at anything. Can't really create for himself. D tier. I get it, you're an opal. You're D tier. Kyrie Irving. Now Kyrie is that B tier. He's that like Darren Williams tier, I think. Like, he can move, he can shoot a little bit, can't really dunk, but he can't, like, it's weird. When I mean he can't really dunk, like, he's not a great dunker, but he will dunk. And that is a rare thing in this game, to find guys that, like, move like him and will dunk. It's the best Kyrie Irving card we've had all year, and he was free, so I don't think anyone is going to complain about getting this card. Well, some people did, and there's guys that will complain about literally everything. But yeah, it's pretty good. Another player in that conversation for S tier, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, lads. LaMelo, 6'6", good jump shot, plays defense, can kind of handle the ball. Movement is actually pretty good without the ball. It's just his dribble style means his movement with the ball. It's a bit shaky. Can't lie. It is a little bit shaky, but other than that, LaMelo does almost everything well. Maybe not Garden Ball. Wilkins, he's not terrible, but again, if this is the standard of players I have in C tier, he's going to go into D. Lonzo, S. These are my 4 in S tier, no brainers. I'm realistically arguing, like, it'll be a debate at the end between Bonga, LaMelo, and Peyton as to who goes to S. I already know who it is. Like, I made my mind up who it is. But, we'll debate that at the end. Magic Johnson, B. You might be saying, oh, why is the Magic Johnson? He has to be A. The guy's 6'9". I'm just like, no. No. Just get Bonga. Bonga's better. Bonga's better in almost every way. Magic's not a great shooter. He's just tall. That's all he has, is he's tall. Fultz. Now, Fultz can really shoot. He's not good enough on defense for me to put him into C tier. Doesn't even move well enough. But he can really shoot. I think if we later on in the year get a Markelle Fultz with like range and a good dribble style, that Fultz card could be insane. Because he's got that Steph Curry base. He's so chick. He's so chick. Oscar Robertson. Look, he's 6. Is he better than DeJounte? I don't know. He's 6'5". Like this, like a lot of these guys are in the lower tier, but he's 6'5", got an okay behind him. Like, moves okay. His release isn't terrible. His release isn't good. Don't get me wrong. Like, the release of Oscar Robertson is not good, but it's not terrible. Penny Hardaway. Now, Penny, he's either top of B. I'm going to put him lowest of A just due to longevity. Just due to... Let's give him one of those, like, career achievement awards. Because I don't know whether to put him in A or B. And because he's been so good for so long, I'm just going to give him a spot in A. Like, there's no chance he's A tier next month. Honestly, he's definitely going to drop into B tier next month. He's just kind of really hanging on. Because I'm pretty sure last month, I made this tier list, like, right before. Like, at the start of February, it was, like, right before all of, like, Lonzo and Jalen Rose came out and everyone. And I'm pretty sure I said that Penny Hardaway and LaMelo were, like, the 2 best point guards in the game. Which is kind of crazy. But, yeah. So, he's at his times. And now, Ray for Austin, wherever Iverson is, they're the same card. They're almost the same card. Like, there's very little difference between Ray for Austin and Allen Iverson in game. Like, Ray for Austin's a little bit taller. Iverson's going to dunk a little bit better. But their SIGs are very similar. So Ray for Austin and Allen Iverson are both going to go C tier. Ricky Rubio, get into D tier. I mean, Rubio plays defense. He came out the Monday after David Robinson and, like, Eric Snow. I remember that because he came out the one Monday content came out, and I wasn't in the country to make videos on it. Like 6'4", 6'6" wingspan, half chef. Couple of good goal defensive matches, great defensive stats. It's a pity about Rubio getting injured for the season because he was doing really well for a really good Cavs team. And Rubio's a really good basketball player. C tier for RJ Hampton. RJ Hampton, 6'4", moves really well. Like, again, he's almost identical 6 to Kobe White, except he has a better behind the back. If you're asking me who I'm taking, RJ Hampton or Kobe White, it's close. If RJ Hampton was 6'6", he'd be in B tier, even as a Ruby. He's just 6'4", so he's in C tier. Westbrook C. This Westbrook's not bad. This is like, I'm putting this Westbrook in B. You might be saying, oh, how is he a dark matter in B tier? But I mean, like, is he as good as any of these guys? No. But Westbrook's not terrible in this game. Like, as much as I slate the cards, the Westbrook cards, and be like, oh, none are any good. They're not terrible. They're really not terrible cards. Like, when I make my top 100 list, again, it had been planned for today. Man, I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. I was up at 9 a.m. to work. And to be fair, I'll be absolutely exhausted tomorrow as well. But I have a little bit more time since I'm pretty sure I'm off on Thursday morning so I can sleep. But I was in at 9 o'clock. I was working 9 till 2 today. Then obviously made some content. Had to leave my house for a bit and had barely any time to do anything. And then tomorrow I'm working from 9 till 3. Then I gotta play at 6. Gotta play some ball at 6. And then the rest of the day is free, so I should be okay tomorrow. But man, I've just been ridiculously busy. But yeah, I forgot what the purpose of that was. Westbrook is B and C though. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander B. Like, he's 6'6". He's like a worse version of LaMelo Ball. He's a worse version of LaMelo. Honestly, I think Sarah is better. But he's not bad. He's not a slasher dribble style. He's literally just worse LaMelo. Steph Curry. I'm sorry, if I'm putting Dame in C tier, and I'm putting Iverson in C tier, I'm putting Curry. I don't think Curry's any better than those guys. I don't think this Curry's... I think this Dame is way better than Steph. You know what? I'm going to give Steph a low B tier spot because at the same time, Steph can absolutely cook people. Steph can cook people as well as any player in this entire game. So I'm going to give him a B tier spot. This Steph Curry, however... Yeah, I'll give this Steph Curry a C tier spot. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Like, again, this Steph Curry can still destroy bad players. Like, the Diamond Steph Curry can destroy bad players. I'm going to be completely honest. Diamond Steph Curry has the ability to absolutely destroy bad players. So yeah, he's got the Curry slide, the Curry fade. He's the only player with those in the game, and they can be abused and be very, very effective. So I'm gonna C tier here for Steph. Then we got Steve Nash. I mean, look, he is C, isn't he? He's not brilliant. He's not brilliant, but he is C tier. I think he's slightly better than these guys in D tier. He can shoot the ball from deep. He can kind of move. His defense isn't that bad. Can't dunk, which is a bit of a problem, but he's not that bad. Parker, D tier. Look, Tony Parker's not good. His release is bad. There is nothing good about Tony Parker. And these last guys, I'm going to put Maxey in D because he's basically Isaiah Thomas. These guys are basically the same card, so they're both going to go into D tier. And I'm going to put Trae Young because Trae Young can cook. Trae Young is very similar to this Steph Curry here. Against a bad player, he can absolutely cook you. At the same time, so can Kemba. Screw it, I'm going to move Trae Young down to D. Except there are guys that can cook with Trae Young. If you're one of those, if you're like a Wall or you're, again, someone that does cook with Trae Young, ignore this tier list. I'm not the greatest with him. Keep doing you. So yeah, the last spot in S tier between Gary Payton, Bonga, and LaMelo. For me, the more I think about this, the more there's one obvious choice. The best in terms of movement and on-ball defense is Payton. Second best is LaMelo. Third best is Bonga. The best in terms of off-ball defense is LaMelo, followed by Bonga, followed by Payton. The best in terms of guarding the switches, Bonga, followed by LaMelo, followed by Payton. The best shooter, LaMelo, followed by Bonga, followed by Payton. The best dribbler, Payton, followed by Bonga, followed by LaMelo. And consider LaMelo literally finished last in one of those stats. When I'm counting up all of them, it felt like LaMelo finished higher in most of the stats. So I'm putting LaMelo Ball as my number 5. My ranking will be Cade, Lonzo, Jalen. Lonzo, Jalen, interchangeable. Simmons, LaMelo. Then Peyton Bonga, D-Rose, Dame Ja. Yeah, I'm cool with this list. Cool with literally this in order. And lower than that, doesn't really matter. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.